A pond, and on the water a single water lily. Every day it doubles. 1 becomes 2, 2 become 4. After 48 days, the whole pond is covered. So here's the question. Which day was it half full? Most people are thinking day 24 right now. Half the time, half the pond. Wrong. It's day 47. If you just got that wrong, the exact same mistake is sitting in your savings plan and on your credit card statement. And now the part that stings. On day 40, the pond isn't even 1% covered. It looks empty, 8 days before it's completely full. That same blind spot is sitting in your account. It's one reason people stop saving at exactly the moment it would start to work, and it makes debt look more harmless than it is. Mia showed Ben a savings plan, $100 a month. And at some point the calculator says there's a 6-figure number sitting there. Ben isn't buying it. That calculator's broken. $100 a month and I end up rich? Somebody's cooking the books. So they make a bet. Not against each other. They both put in the same amount for 5 years, $100 a month. What they're betting on is what's there at the end. Ben says next to nothing. If he's right, he wins. Handshake. And to be clear, we're working with 6% a year here. That's an example, so the numbers have something to hold on to. Not a promise, not a product, not advice. In real life, this moves around, sometimes more, sometimes less, sometimes down. 5 years later, Ben opens the app. Put in $6,000. In the account, $6,980. That's just under $1,000 of gains. In 5 years. Break it down. $16 a month. $16. That's what he gave things up for, every month for 5 years. Ben won the bet. And you know what? He's right. This isn't wishful thinking, and it isn't a math error. The early years really are that flat. Anyone who looks at that and thinks this isn't worth it is seeing it correctly. Be honest. Would you have kept going? 5 years of going without, $16 a month to show for it. And from where Ben is standing, it doesn't look like that's ever going to change. Ben doesn't keep going. He opens the app and taps Pause Savings Plan. Not cancel, just pause. He does want to start again, later, when he's earning more. Then it'll really be worth it. Mia keeps going. Not because she knows more. She's just as disappointed as he is. She simply doesn't stop. 30 years after that handshake. Ben is sitting with Mia at the kitchen table. She shows him her balance, $100,450. What she put in was $36,000. Ben doesn't say anything. She didn't do anything different from what he did. No trick, no inside tip, no better product. Same plan, same $100. She just didn't stop. So what happened? Ben's mistake wasn't that he looked at it wrong. His mistake was that he extended the line straight out in his head. 5 years, $1,000 in interest. So 30 years, $6,000. That's how our heads do the math, in steps of the same size. But interest doesn't grow in steps. It grows in percent, off a balance that keeps growing. The growth grows with it. Of that 100,000, 36,000 is what Mia put in. The rest is interest. Now look at what each decade brings in interest. The first 10 years, just over 4,000. The second 10, just under 18,000. The last 10, just over 42,000. The last 10 years bring in almost twice as much as the first 20 combined. And from around year 13, Mia's account earns more every year than she puts in. This blind spot has a name. Researchers call it exponential growth bias. In studies, about 1 in 3 people extend the line straight out, and only 4 out of 100 get the final amount right. And here's the strange part. Being smart doesn't help. The mistake has nothing to do with education and nothing to do with your math grades. There's this famous line, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Supposedly Einstein said it. Except there is not one single piece of evidence that Einstein ever said it. The earliest trace is from 1925 in an advertisement with no mention of Einstein at all. The line only got attached to him more than 30 years after his death. So the most famous line about compound interest comes from an ad. And the mistake? It doesn't go away just because somebody shows you the curve once. They tested that. People who get shown the graph beforehand guess just as badly as everyone else. So what helps isn't a quote and it isn't a chart. It's a quick calculation you can do in your head. It's called the rule of 72. You take 72 and divide it by the interest rate. What comes out is the number of years until an amount doubles if it's just left sitting there. 6%, 72 divided by 6, 12 years. It's a rule of thumb, not a precision calculation, but it shows you in 5 seconds what your gut can't see. One thing's still missing, and it's uncomfortable. Ben's savings plan stayed paused for 25 years. Something else kept running in that time, the balance he was carrying on his credit card. He pays the minimum payment every month. Feels harmless. On American credit cards, the average rate is around 21% a year. And what happens if an amount like that is just left sitting there? 72 divided by 21. About 3.5 years until the debt doubles. Same curve, other direction. Ben let go. And a car on a hill doesn't stay put when you let go of the brake. It rolls back down. The savings plan and the credit card, both for the same reason. He doesn't believe a curve he can't see right now. So, the most important thing in one sentence. With anything that grows, don't trust the ruler in your head. Do 72 divided by the interest rate, for saving and for debt. A question for you, put it in the comments. What did you give up because it took too long to show any results? If you got something out of this, subscribe to the channel. This video is for educational purposes, not financial advice. Make money decisions yourself or with a qualified professional. The 6% was an example, before taxes, fees, and inflation.